Hello dear friends. Thank you for coming back to Tu Diep channel. Tu Diep is almost done building a house. The debt is gradually paid off. Diep and her daughter's life is getting more stable day by day. Knowing that Jame is far away, he contacted again and wants to return with Diep and her daughter. Will Tu Diep accept to welcome Jame or not? Do you love this couple? Do you feel that Jame is really just running away? Not because of work abroad that he left suddenly? Let's wait and see. Tu Diep woke up to the gentle mist of a quiet countryside morning, where the distant sound of roosters crowing echoed softly in the air. Beside her was her grandmother, the one constant in her life, who had stood by her through every hardship with quiet resilience and unconditional love. "You're up already? Did you sleep well?" her grandmother asked gently, the warmth in her voice like a comforting blanket. Tu Diep smiled softly and got up to prepare for the day with Nee, the little girl she had taken in as her own. Together, they packed smoked pork into baskets, ready to head to the market, a new day of selling, a new step toward a debt-free life. The morning market was bustling, alive with the chatter of vendors and the scent of freshly cooked street food. At her stall, Tu Diep greeted customers with a cheerful heart. Her smoked pork had become well loved by the locals, fragrant, tender, perfectly seasoned. Regulars came back, praising the flavor, praising her skill. One familiar woman leaned while buying and said in a hushed voice, "Boss James still calls back sometimes. He asks about your grandmother." The words caught Tu Diep off guard, stirring something deep within him. James, he had once entered her life like summer rain, sudden and full of promise. But now, he existed only in fading memories. Still, Tu Diep smiled and worked harder. Her eyes reflected peace, not the turmoil of a woman drowning in debt or sorrow. Every piece of pork sold, every coin earned, was another inch of freedom. Once, a young mother came to her, nervous and hesitant, asking for a loan to care for her sick child. She mentioned her older brother, Lynn, one of James's employees. Tu Diep didn't hesitate. She understood what desperation felt like. "Your brother will handle it," she said kindly. She didn't turn her back on those who fought to rise up. By noon, the basket was nearly empty. 2 million today, 1 million in profit. She told her grandmother with joy. Those numbers weren't just earnings, they were victories, proof that with enough grit, anyone could climb out of a hole, even when the world tried to bury them. Later that afternoon, as the sky darkened with rain, Tu Diep and little Nee visited James's mother. In the cozy kitchen of the modest home, the scent of smoked pork filled the air as laughter echoed between the two women. The bond between them had grown strong, once strangers, now almost like mother and daughter. James's mother spoke softly about her son, about the calls from abroad, about the way he asked about Tu Diep and the little girl he once met. Every word felt like a ripple across Tu Diep's calm surface, a reminder of feelings she had tried to set aside. Nee played quietly nearby, her wide eyes full of innocence. She wasn't Tu Diep's biological daughter, but the love between them was as real as blood. Nee had become the light in her life, the reason she smiled, the reason she endured. She had pulled Tu Diep from the depths of sorrow and taught her how to live again. Then, the phone rang. It was a foreign number. Tu Diep answered, her voice steady despite the storm inside. "Hello?" And then, a voice she hadn't heard in so long, warm, familiar, achingly distant, replied, "Diep, I'm coming back to Vietnam." Her hand trembled, her eyes welled with tears. James's mother, sitting beside her, reached over and held her hand, both of them overwhelmed by the emotion that poured into the room. He was coming back. The man who had once left her behind was returning. Tu Diep had paid off every debt. She had stood up on her own, built a life from the ashes. She had found peace in simplicity, love in a child she didn't give birth to, and strength she never knew she had. Now, standing on her own 2 feet, she faced a new question: would she open her heart again? James had once meant everything. But now, she was no longer the same woman who had waited, who had hoped. She was stronger, steadier. And as the rain fell gently outside and the fire crackled in the hearth, Tu Diep knew that when James returned, it wouldn't just be about the past. It would be about whether their hearts still beat in the same rhythm, or whether some stories were meant to end. Even when love still lingered, the storm outside had passed. But inside her heart, the winds of change had only just begun.
Đâu San, Khang ấy đâu? Bố ấy đâu rồi? cái bể cái lô này mà rồi tận ham mình múc cái lô ông này mang ta mình múc cái tấm hết thật tinh ngày ban nè thằng đi 5 con này mà
cái này phải xịn máy kinh phải
mình phải dùng đấy cái xịn máy không đến phép lắm
yêu khai thích cho họ này lòng thành thân mừng thì
làm máy đó
máy sai cái chân
anh cắt bay
tao mà khoan nó tập tao phản ấy tao phát cho nó phản ấy chặt cái đấy năm đấy họ đi vào từng hộp này anh hôm năm kia tao cái này phải là
mình múc cái này mà không đầu cái lột cái lỗ gì hoặc là bỏ này cái này là giảm nhẹ này mình lo cất cần mà phải tự cái này
cất mà phải cất chặt năm lấy đâu mà mình
long nhưng mà người long đáng chị nè sụn đường bên ba mình cái bài phải lụ xì tỏng mình bị ảnh rồi thế là mình bị cái tỏng mùa này nè bên này phải lụ tỏng mùa này nhưng mà có cái
phán cái má mình biết cái tấm cái mà đắp cái này để nó
đắp sau này phải xử lý
cái mặt tấm này đi cái mặt tấm này
mình lão cái mình lấy luôn mình sỏi luôn mình tọt long này léo mình nằm nhọn này nè trường long còn đang không phải học được nó
thôi tấm
làm ngáp cần mình đi
tỉnh chợ lắm tỉnh chợ là mình làm chiều đi nhiều
hả cái tê cất thịt à
cái này vay đầy với không biết này
cái này tận hầu một cái lô phần này mà nó không mà được đắt không phải để mà đầy lắm
đi cái sân mà mệt thì chứ còn cái này làm sân nhà bếp sân cái thứ này
bàn
thì nốt thì còn mà cái office thì cũng bản là một siết thì vẫn u gần rau thì quay khi mây hoa trong lâu
đây là công bạc đấy là cả công bạc thế nào là cấp tháng xong khoảng 5-6 mét vuông diện tíchของđâyมันsinh nha để bác bè mà lô ma học căng bóng ở đây thì có mình cả view ngoài trời uống cà phê à nó
cái view nhưng mà cái này thực sự là sẽ lúc để nút công mạc cái phải
mình sẽ tóm mình đẩy ở đây là ngon
nhưng mà cái view là phải cái công mạc chân cũng phải đúng thì là phải hoặc là đấy như mà cũng mình phải nhanh hẹp cái vòng tròn mà mình cài nó tập một cái con cũng là và nước
phải để thâu sâu thế mà để nước cái bà cầu thế như hồi nãy này cái nước tiên đó vàถ้ามันนี่เราเป็นเนี่ยเขา
นี่ตำมันเลยซีออกมาแค่ไหนเนี่ย
như vậy à
alo chắc chứ mà cái chặt chân mưng thằng đó say cái chặt cái tấm này luôn tấm thân núi đi say lắm giờ là mưng nhặt cái bếp này cái bếp này cột này cái dầu thì là mình không cái dầu
cái bếp này mà
bếp này đấy cột này
là cái mặt tường cái ngõ bếp ra luôn
cái view này cái dầu thì nó xoay tròn quay để tròn cái tấm đang ngủ đúng mà mình đâu cái nắm ngầm luôn phải mình thực sự là cái đất liền cái mày mà véo đây pháp quản cái số cao hơn mà đây
เขาบัดนักมาถ่ายแล้วบัดโพสต์งานเขาเนี่ยเขามีกระถังป๊อปเลยเนี่ยแล้วตรงนี้ใครเขาสอนมาถ่ายรูปเขาหนักเขาดูด้วยชื่อในร้านเนี่ย